Doctors aren't always fans of roller coasters, water parks. There's a lot of things that can go wrong, especially for me because I'm scared of heights, but let's check it out.
Caught on camera, a carnival ride in India became far more terrifying.
Oh, I think I saw this. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Video shows the ride. Ooh,
oh my God. This is why I don't go on community rides. Like, no way. There, the biggest thing, obviously, head injuries, because you're hitting your head back, whiplash injuries, but also compression fractures of the vertebrae that line the spine. That's very painful and dangerous because it could lead to compression of nerves, which can create long-lasting symptoms or even lead to paralysis.
The ride fell about 50 feet.
Wow.
Carnival organizers are blaming the accident on a technical issue.
Well, what is the other issue? What is this? Is this like a... Did he let go? What happened?
State inspectors say the leg straps were not buckled and this was simply operator error.
The fact that that child survived that head injury down to the ground is a miracle. I can't tell you, when I saw that, I felt beads of sweat start to pile up on my scalp because I thought that was it. Child suffered broken bones, collapsed lung, and a brain injury. Yeah, blessed, that's all it was based on the concrete fall. How is there no padding on the ground? You gotta put padding.
Terrifying moments on opening day of this water park in California.
Oh my God, water parks freak me out. And there's all sorts of physical injuries that can happen. But with water parks, you gotta know it's a brewing ground for contamination, for bacteria and stuff. Swimmer's ear, otitis externa. You can get all sorts of infectious stuff. Legionella, E. coli, Shigella, norovirus, Giardia. There's so many bugs that could potentially be in water parks. Now, if they're properly sanitized and all the rules are perfectly followed to the T, there's much less risk, but you still gotta be careful.
Watch as this 10-year-old boy plunges down this slide before he tumbles off onto the concrete.
That's a lot of lacerations. Why don't they make them a little bit more padded?
Three-story slide called the Emerald Plunge is part of the Bay Area's brand new $43 million water park called the Wave. The attraction featuring 2 tracks with 80-degree drops.
80 degrees, that's straight down minus 10 degrees.
Here you see the boy shooting down the green slide, and as he gets near the bottom, he flies up.
What did he do wrong? He's even holding the proper position.
Over the edge and rolls onto the ground.
And that hyperextension of his spine, it could really compress those nerves that come out on either end.
The child suffered some bad scrapes and was briefly treated at a nearby hospital before being released.
What a lucky, lucky child. I want to know what went wrong though. They're opening a new thing. They must have tested it, no?
8-year-old Evie Evans says she was riding Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain in California.
I already don't like the name. There's nothing magical about this mountain. It scares my poor little sensitive heart.
When she was hit in the face by a cell phone that was dropped by another passenger on the ride.
Wow, but I mean, can you blame the ride for that? You have to blame the other passenger. That's terrible. And by the way, phones, I don't know if you've ever been laying upside down and looking at your phone and then lose the grip and it hits you right in the cheekbone. It can literally cut you. Hard surface, hard bony surface, skin in between, cut.
Evie needed stitches to close a gash on her forehead.
Lucky it didn't hit her in the eye. You could lose your vision like that. Is this Splash Mountain? Oh, this looks like a bad idea. This is terrible. This is literally a concussion waiting and drowning waiting to happen. Why? Is this an accident or is this meant to happen? Oh man, ziplines scare me.
No, pues Valentina también se fuera parado. No, Valentina sí es la primera.
Oh my God, my heart just sank. Minor injuries? It looked like the rope broke. How did, man, children survive the wildest accidents. See, there's like a fine line between managing risk, like when kids go on a playground and fall and get scrapes, like some of that is not a bad thing because you need to learn from how far you could push your body and how far you can take risks and managing those risks. It's all part of the development of the brain that's important. But then like, do you really need to go in the middle of a mountain ziplining? Like, I just wouldn't do it. Like I've done it before and I've regretted doing it the whole time.
But it did happen to Claire Clark. She was taking a trip down the corkscrew. a towering covered slide that twists and turns before touching down in the splash pool. Clark says to help get a start, she grabbed the top of the slide as she pushed herself in.
And my ring that I was wearing caught on something. I don't know if it was, I guess it was on the slide, I'm not sure. And it took my finger away with it. It looked like there was bone there, and that was it.
She says she knew right away.
And they couldn't reattach it?
Doctors were forced to amputate what remained of her finger.
It's really hard to reattach fingers, but it can be done because there's a lot of small blood vessels, nerves, joints, tendons. So even if they could reattach it, would it be functional?
I mean, you looked at the thing, and it looked like it was something out of like a Bugs Bunny or a Roadrunner cartoon where they just made a loop and said, yeah, there's our ride.
Some lunatic clearly just was like, build me a slide that's like that. And then they didn't consult anybody who had a background in engineering.
What? You should not do that. This is like worse than Jackass.
And it just takes you. All of a sudden, you're going really, really fast. The loop was fun, and yes, it hurt. Going through the loop and having your nuts get smashed on a fiberglass tube.
You think it's fun to get your nuts smashed on a fiberglass tube? That is not my idea of fun.
So they sent a couple other people down, and when those people came down, they came down with lacerations. They couldn't figure out why these people had lacerations from a giant loop. Then they took the loop apart and they found teeth stuck in the padding from the first couple people.
This is like a full-on horror story. Teeth? Teeth inside of a water slide? Where are the parents of these children? How are they allowed to sign consents for forms like this?
It's supposed to be scary, but not this scary.
Oh my
Watch
God.
Dallas resident David Salmon use his arm to try to steer himself down a slide near Austin, Texas.
Oh, did he dislocate his arm?
It's even more normal speed.
Everyone's reaction when they're filming is the same. Phone down.
David posted on his Facebook page, "Too dang old to be going down water slides. Fell off this one that is over a rocky cliff. Broke my arm and fractured ribs. Multiple lacerations."
Again, lucky.
In 2017, a brave man plummeted to the ground while trying to rescue children trapped in a gondola. 25-year-old Albert Irvin climbed the Ferris wheel to save them.
They need a firefighter.
But as he freed the gondola...
He actually fell pretty decently. I'm sure he injured his arm, maybe his elbow, definitely broken there, maybe even a rib, but otherwise, not the most dangerous of falls.
And incredibly, he survived with just a broken finger.
Wow, amazing.
In 2016, 11-year-old Lulu's scalp was ripped off in a carnival accident. That's Lulu in sunglasses. She was happily riding on the King's Crown with her friends in Omaha, Nebraska. Then her long red hair got caught in the mechanism.
How does any human, after watching this video, still want to go to a theme park and ride rides?
Lulu's scalp and forehead were repaired using skin grafts.
That's so scary. That's why they say no loose clothing, but goes to show how strong hair is. It'll take the skin right off with it.
A day at the amusement park turned terrifying
when
a
it gets
ride
stuck.
trapped people upside down for nearly 4 hours.
That's a long time. That's a lot of gravity having blood pool in the veins. Oof.
Oh my goodness.
You could get nauseous, throw up, pass out.
Kids enjoying the July 4th holiday.
And hot. You gotta remember July 4th's peak heat.
Were stranded when the ride stopped mid-air. Cheers erupted from below when the rescues started.
It took 4 hours to get a ladder.
The last rider was finally brought to safety 4 hours after the ordeal began.
It was the first ride 13-year-old Caitlin Lassiter and her friends rode, the Superman Tower of Power.
Oh my God, the names of these things.
I remember something else fell on us, which was more cable. We even had cables around our necks, and we pulled them off. Something hard hit our heads, and then we dropped.
Did the whole thing just fall apart
During
and
the
snap?
fall, one of the ropes had wound its way around both of Caitlin's feet. This shattered her left femur and severed both of her feet.
Femur, that's one of the strongest bones in the body.
Her feet had now been completely cut off from the ankles below.
Oh my God.
At the hospital, the doctors were able to reattach Caitlin's right foot.
Wow.
But her left foot was too badly damaged to restore and had to be amputated below the knee.
The fact that she lost her leg, I mean, is terrible, but you could so easily lose your life when you're that high up. Because these roller coasters are based on creating fear, and you create fear with heights and speed, and heights and speed equal medical problems if there's no way to break that speed. Those are some accidents. Here's some amazing lifeguard rescues. Click here to check that out, and as always, stay happy and healthy.